Welcome, everyone. I'll let you get connected to your sound as the audio connects. Welcome to a very special Shabbat dinner preparation with Gazala. I am coming to you live from Gazala's restaurant on the Upper West Side. This is part of the Other Israel Film Festival. I'm Isaac Zablocki. I'm the director of the festival. Thank you so much. I want to give a big shout out here to our Center for Jewish Life at the JCC and its director, Sarah K. Lax, who's here with us as well. And our partners at One Table and our 20s 30s Center at the JCC. And we're really excited to bring to you a live demo of some Druze cooking preparation with conversation. We're just so you know, the schedule for the rest of the evening we have coming up next, we have at 6 p.m. a conversation with the filmmakers. Yes, this is a film festival, believe it or not, with the filmmakers of My Dearest Enemy. So join us for that as well. Tomorrow, a full day of programs, including short films and conversations, as well as here till Thursday. So join us for all those programs. And we're really excited. I'm going to hand things over to Avery Robinson, who is a culinary historian. Is that a good way to describe it, Avery?
Yeah, that's correct.
And I'll just give one plug here, of course. If you haven't tried Gazala's food on the Upper West Side or in Hell's Kitchen, it is some of the best Israeli food in New York, and they are open, and especially now during this pandemic, wherever you are, order your food from them, mention Other Israel, and you get a 10% discount too. Right, Gazala? She's here somewhere.
Yes, yes, sorry. Yeah.
So Avery, I'm going to hand things over to you and Gazala. Thank you very much. And I'll be managing things from the other side with the camera. So I'll be wearing a mask. See you there.
Great. Thanks so much, Isaac. And can we spotlight Gazala? I guess that's why we're here. So Gazala, thank you so much for showing us, for joining us tonight and being a part of this program. I was wondering if you could just give us a quick rundown of what we're going to be making so that all of our participants who are cooking along with us know in what order they need to have everything sort of ready and set on their counters.
Yes. So first, it's going to be the lentil soup. So what we need is onion, carrots, potatoes, and the lentil, and some olive oil and salt. And we're gonna do the cauliflower. We're gonna need tahini, salt, lemon, and onion. And we're gonna need, and we're gonna make the lamb hummus. We need hummus, which is, I don't know, I need to say the ingredients for the hummus?
I will put them in the chat, but hummus is the chickpea, tahini.
And tahini,
salt.
yes. You could add some garlic, but I don't. It's up to you. Mm-hmm. Lemon and salt. That's all. Mm-hmm. And for the meat, we need, I use lamb. It's up to you. You could use beef. You could use any kind of meat. Olive oil, pine nuts, salt and pepper, and some garlic. That's it.
Great. Wonderful. So I guess we should probably start because we only have so much time, and I don't know how we're going to get 4 dishes, 3 dishes plus the second half of the hummus already in there. So please start us off. And
okay, I'm going to start with cutting the onion for the soup. So for 1 pound, I used 1 pound lentil. I need, it's depend how big the onion is. I will use 1.5 onion.
Okay. All right. So Barry asked if there's going to be precise quantities available. So Barry, to the extent that Gazala is able to say out loud what they are and that I am going to be able to estimate on her behalf. We'll make sure to put a record of the ingredients and their measurements in the chat as well. And for anyone else, please feel free to throw your questions in the chat and we will get to them, whether that is about what is happening as we're cooking or anything else about this Druze Shabbat dinner and Gazala.
So this is the onion.
Right.
I'm gonna add some olive oil. I will say about 2 teaspoons. And
Okay.
I'm gonna start cooking the onion.
Great. And we're going to cook this onion until it is translucent, caramelized.
Like gold.
Golden.
Gold color. Till it
All right.
got gold color. I already cut the potato. You see small cubes.
Small cubes. Could you show those a little bit closer to the camera? Is that possible? Just so.
Yes.
Wonderful. All right. Everyone
And
sees small cubes.
I did 2. I'm not gonna use it all. I will believe 1.5 will be enough. And carrot, about a cup of carrots. And this is the lentil, 1 pound of lentil. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna cut the onion for the cauliflower. So it has to be a thin slice.
All right. And that looks like thin slices of 1.5 onions or 2 onions there, depending on your size.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you see the onion, I think 1.5 will be enough. It's big.
All right.
Also about 2 teaspoons of oil.
Okay.
I'm gonna also cook it
Are
till
we
it
also
got the
cooking?
gold color.
Okay. Also cooking these onions until they're gold.
Yes.
Nothing quite like gold onions to permeate our Shabbat atmosphere.
I think they already cooked for this weekend.
What was that?
I think they already cook their Shabbat, no?
No, people are cooking with you right now.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks who are joining in, asking questions about measurements, ingredients. They're here with you in their own kitchens, of course.
Okay, I need in the butcher water, please. So I'm gonna do the tahini.
Okay, so that is
it's
a very big bowl with a very big whisk of some delicious looking sesame paste.
yes.
Okay, is this the tahini you're making for the cauliflower and also
Yes.
for the hummus, or just?
No, the hummus already prepared.
Okay, hummus is already prepared, and this is our
So
big bowl of tahini.
yes, I need cold, very cold. Till the water is ready. Okay, this is the cauliflower.
Okay,
It's 2 large pieces.
2 large heads of cauliflower, and
You
then
see how I cut it?
great.
You
Cut
know,
like 2-inch cubes for those
yes.
who need precise measurements.
Yes. So you could do it both way. You could put some olive oil and put it in the oven,
Okay.
or you could deep fry it. Me personally prefer deep fry it. So it's all up to you.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start frying the cauliflower.
Okay. And if you don't have a deep fryer at home, because not everyone's kitchen is well outfitted as
You could
Gazala's
use
with the
you could
shramas
use
out there.
any like pan, or you know.
Right, you can put it in a pot, or as I put in the chat, you can roast them in the oven for probably 20-25 minutes at 425 degrees.
Yes.
All right. Wow, there's so many things cooking here. This is amazing. And I
Yeah.
can't see any of it. Wow. All right, but we're going back to this tahini.
I'm
Can we get
gonna
a
show you
tahini
when
cam?
it's ready. You know, here is the cauliflower.
Uh-huh.
Can you see it?
Yes, we can see that.
Okay,
It is
today
not
it's a
quite
gold
golden.
gold color. Also, when you get the gold color, it's going to be ready. So there is already lemon here. I will
Okay.
say about 3 large lemon squeezed.
Juice of 3 large lemons. How much tahini is there? How much?
2 cups.
Raw, 2 cups
2
of
to
raw
3 cups.
tahini.
It's depend. My tahini, it's thick.
Okay.
You know, I use a very thick tahini, but I don't know which tahini you're gonna buy. You know, but you could put about 3 cups and see if you're gonna need it all or not.
Okay.
And
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna put some salt, about 1.5 teaspoons.
Great. And if you're making, if you've never made tahini before into a sauce, it is generally good to let it, to start with less liquid in it, because tahini is one of
Exactly.
these incredible things. It's a non-Newtonian fluid. It thickens up the more you add liquid to it, up till a certain point. And so if you're worried about how thick it's going to be, and you're going to see this magical alchemy going from our tahini cam. Isaac, can we get a better angle on our tahini can? Thanks.
Okay, this is the tahini. You cannot add in one shot the water. So you have to add it slowly. Otherwise, it's not going to be thick and nice. It's going to be very liquid. So you mix and you add water, and up to you how much you want it thick. For the cauliflower, you cannot have it very thick because it has to be cooked. And when it's cooked, it becomes more thick.
All right.
So
So far, we've probably used about 2.5 cups of water, and we're still going for more.
okay,
So
you see, this is a 1 liter.
Right.
So I'm gonna probably need even more than that. But it's also, my tahini is thick, you know.
What's your favorite type of tahini?
There is Lebanese tahini called qanatar. It's very good tahini.
All right.
And this is since 2007. This is the only tahini I use.
Wow.
Sometimes if I got, you know, I don't have, it's not in the market, I use a different one, but this is the best tahini. So I think I need one more.
Why 2007? Is that when you started opening when you first opened your restaurant?
Yeah, the 9th Avenue location.
Okay.
The first Gazala, it was in 2007.
2007. And how did you come to open a Druze restaurant in New York City in 2007?
I don't know. I just don't know. It's meant to happen, I will say. I used to live like across the street. And it happened. I don't know. I struggle a lot the first 2 weeks. I never work in commercial kitchen. And it was very tough in the beginning. So I use 1 3/4. I don't need more than that. That's it.
All right.
So look, it's really liquid, you know. Let me get a spoon to show you how liquid is it.
All right. So while Gazala is getting the spoon to show the liquid, just, oh wow, it's almost soupy.
Yeah, very liquid because it's gonna be thicker when we cook it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So this is not the standard tahini sauce that you would be putting, that you would be using as a dip or as a salatim. Okay.
No. Yeah. So let me show you the cauliflower. What color?
All right. As you're showing us this, if you've never, oh wow, look at that gold. Oh yeah.
Yes. And you know, it has to we have to take all the oil away.
Mhm.
So cook it like an hour even before you put it in the tahini.
Okay, so we're gonna let this sit to the side for a minute so it cools
Yes.
down and it drains.
Yes.
Gazala, if you've never cooked in a restaurant before, how did you come to learn all of these amazing recipes and foods that you're sharing with us tonight? One moment.
Give me a second. I need to check in the onion. Just a
Okay,
second.
while you check on the onions, Barry Elkins noted that Kalushkin's, which is a spice shop in New York City on the east side, it's a great space for Middle East spices. There's he says it's the best. There's a number of other incredible spice shops throughout the city. When I lived in Brooklyn, I would go to Sahadi's, and you can now find anything online. I didn't quite get the name of Gazala's tahini, but we'll get there in a minute. Yes, Abigail, we'll make sure to get the tahini recipe, or the tahini brand on there.
Itzhak, would you be able to pass it for me?
All right.
I
I'm
want
not
to
a
show them
professional
how is
chef.
the onion supposed to be.
Oh, wow, the iPad onion cam pass. This is one of the tricks of the trades, folks.
Can you see the
Okay,
onion?
so the black
this is
pot on
for
the left.
the cauliflower.
Right, on the black pot on the left is what's going for the soup, the lentil soup, if I'm not mistaken.
No, this is for the cauliflower.
Oh, that's the cauliflower.
And-
Sorry.
Yeah, and this is the onion.
Oh, we can't actually
For-
see it. Can you tilt it further down? Yeah, there
like
we go.
This.
Yes. So we can
Ah,
see the black pot.
This
there.
is for the soup. You see the color? Now it's
Yes.
ready.
Can you show us the cauliflower onions? We didn't see those. Okay. They're-
I'm trying. It's hard.
Oh, because there's a whole stand and everything.
Yeah.
We can sort of glimpse in the corner, but we can see
Okay,
that
let
they
me
are
see.
turning
Show
colors. Can't see that. Oh,
Okay,
there it
now
is.
Itzhak is gonna
Almost.
help me.
Ah, what a
You
mensch.
see?
What a mensch. Okay, they're getting translucent and they're starting to brown. Get that light gold
Yeah,
on
so
there.
it's ready. Keep it here. So we are ready. I need more water. Okay, for the soup, we're gonna put all of that.
Okay, we just added our carrots in the soup, and we had about 1 cup of chopped carrots.
Yes. And the potato, I'm not gonna use all of it.
And then
I
in
believe
that
it's too
container is about
much.
1.5 cups of potatoes that have been cubed and chopped to be about, I don't know, half inch cubes.
Yeah, if we have more time, I will put it more. I will keep it more for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, but we don't have time.
Okay.
We need to add the lentil.
Right, the Shabbos bride is coming, and if you're in New York, she may have already showed up. So, okay, now we have our 1 pound of black lentils. This is about 2¼ cups. Gazala, what type of potato do you use? Do you use a starchy
Idaho.
potato, like a French
Idaho.
fry?
Any potato will work.
Idaho. Okay,
Any potato will work.
any
I
potato
use the
works,
Idaho.
but the best is a starchy potato like an Idaho or a russet.
Yeah.
Okay, are these the same type of potatoes that you grew up with in Daliat al-Carmel?
Actually, the potato here, it's a little bit different,
Okay.
but the potato here, it's good as well. You know, it's not that bad. In Israel, I don't know what's the name of the potato over there, but it's a little bit different, has a different taste.
Mm-hmm. I'll remember to tell our Idaho potato farmers that the potatoes are not that bad.
Yeah, more water, more
Especially for traditional Druze lentil soups.
water. Yeah. I need more.
Still need more water. So how many
Yes.
liters that's the 3rd bottle that we've just put in there, or the second?
This is the second. I'm gonna put the third one now.
Okay. Okay, so now we're working on our 3rd liter of water. If someone had chicken broth or other type of broth,
Yeah, absolutely. You could add. You could
Okay.
add, it's up to you.
All right. So if you wanted to make your lentil soup a little bit more flavorful, feel free to use some sort of broth or stock that you have around. But this is vegan, it's parve, it's friendly for all of your Shabbat guests who can have lentils, onions, and carrots. And
Okay. So we're gonna let it cook
And how hot are you cooking it?
until it's broiled.
Okay.
We need it,
cooking until it
we put
boils.
it hot.
All right.
And now we're gonna put the tahini.
All right. Now we have our massive bowl of tahini. Oh, tahini cam's coming in. Oh, God.
Coming in.
All right.
Okay, I think I need a little bit more water.
Wow. We still need a little more water.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so in that
It has
pot,
to be like really soup, like.
okay. And in that pot, we have
But still, it depends in the
onions.
tahini. I don't think
onions that we
Sahadi
cut
has
down.
this tahini.
You don't think
Yeah.
Sahadi has this tahini?
No,
Can
no.
you spell the name of the tahini brand?
Kanater, send me a picture of the tahini. Give me a second, I will get it.
Okay, great. Our everyone who's watching is very, very curious. Can we look in that pot with the tahini, Isaac? Oh, Isaac doesn't have his headphones in. He can't follow us along. Oi. Okay. Cool. Well, in this moment, while Gazala is looking for a tahini brand, I was wondering if people could throw into the chat where you're zooming in from. I'm calling in from the suburbs of Detroit, and Gazala is there on the Upper West Side.
You know what? Take it all, but cover it. Cover it. Take it all. That's fine.
All right, Sarah Kay's in Brooklyn. We got South Jersey, Chicago.
Go. Yeah. Okay. Itzig, don't put it here. Just put it here, please.
Okay.
I have the big one. You're not gonna buy this one, but they have the small one as well. They have it in Brooklyn, in the Arab grocery stores, and Patterson as well. They have it. They carry this kind of tahini.
All right. In Brooklyn, there's a large Arab community who live in Bay Ridge. And so I know there's a number of grocery stores over there. There's Lebanese and Palestinians. I'm not sure if there's other grocery stores that Gazala was talking about specifically, but Morgan just posted on their website, or the website in the chat. So everyone should be able to follow that. Thank you so much, Morgan. And thank you so much for Gazala.
No problem. Just that's it. I don't need it. Don't forget to keep mixing the tahini like every 5 minutes.
Right. So we have this tahini and the onions that are cooking over over a very hot fire right now. And those onions, it was about 2 onions that were sliced very thin. And we have the soup that is not quite boiling. And I think we're going to go check on our cauliflower, but maybe we're checking on something else.
No, we're going to start cutting the meat.
We're going to start cutting the meat.
Yeah. It's also depends how many people you're going to have.
Okay.
Like I have here about like more than 1.5 pounds. So it need to be cut very small.
All right. You have about 1.5 pounds of meat. And how many people would you say 1.5 pounds of meat would serve? And does that matter if it's like serving hummus as a main dish, or is hummus with meat always a side dish?
I don't know. Some people eat it like a main dish. For me, hummus, even with meat, it will be like a side dish.
Okay.
It's up to you. And it's up to you if you like more hummus than meat. So I will say will feed 3 people, 4 people, or 2 people. It depends how much you like meat. you know.
So if you were with your family growing up and you were making this much hummus with meat, how many people do you think would be able to share this and then still have enough room for, you know, like a normal meal? And what would a normal meal look like? There's so many questions there, but please feel free to.
Can you repeat the question again? I couldn't hear it again.
So we'll start from the top. When you were growing up, how often would you be having this meal, the hummus with meat, with your family?
Oh, I will say once a week.
Once a
Hummus
week.
always will have it, you know. Hummus, it's, you know, go almost with all the food, like a side.
Mm-hmm.
But with wheat, I will say maybe once a week.
All right, so it's something special, like food for Shabbos, even if it wasn't a Shabbat meal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what else would you eat when you'd be having the hummus with meat? What would be the whole meal?
Would it be with it? Like, would it be good serving it with?
Yeah.
Of course, like Israeli salad,
Mm-hmm.
tabbouleh, French fries, absolutely. You know, when you have hummus, it's good with French fries. With if you're doing ala ish, if you're doing like
Ala ish,
barbecue,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, also it's nice. It's like a mezzeh. You cannot consider it like a main dish, you know,
Mm-hmm.
unless maybe if you have it like a lunch. I don't know.
Would you ever
But
have this at lunch? Would they serve this in your family or in the community where
not
you?
by itself.
Not by itself.
Not by itself.
Okay.
Not by itself. I think we should be enough here. Ah, I need the pan. I need the pan. Just a second. I need the sartenes. Tapidon.
Great. Okay. So we have about 1.5 pounds of meat of lamb that is being chopped up very fine there. And for those who are coming in a little bit late, we also have a pot of soup on the stove, lentil soup that's boiling. We have cauliflower that is a cauliflower tahini preparation that is cooking down in a pot. There was like nearly 2 cups of water added to 3 cups of tahini. It was magical. I've never seen something like that. It was like, you know, Jordan in the finals. It just doesn't come around every day. So great. And we're making hummus with meat right here, which is a festive dish. Gazala would have it once a week or so, but it was never a meal in and of itself. I used to live in Jaffa in South Tel Aviv, and I would go to a hummusiya and have a bowl by myself and then consider having a second. So I'm not sure, and then I would need to eat for like 4 days. Not quite sure what's happening in the Druze community that Gazala grew up in, where this is a very small piece of a meal. But I hope to learn a lot more after she comes back from stirring her tahini and soup. All right, Gazala, how am I doing with that? Everything okay?
Yes.
Great. If your soup is boiled, do you turn the heat down or do you?
Yes, absolutely. You need to cook it slowly after.
All right. So once,
yeah.
So you turn the soup up so it boils, get it going really quick, and then you turn it down to a simmer, but not covered. Correct? You want to keep it open. Great.
Yeah, you have to cover the. You have to cover the soup, but the qarnabit, I mean the cauliflower, no.
Okay, great.
So I have I need salt, Mario. I will say 2 teaspoons of oil.
2 teaspoons of oil with nearly 1.5 pounds of lamb, and that looks like it could be like
Salt.
2 to 3 tablespoons of salt.
Yes. And garlic, of course.
Garlic, of course. What would we be without garlic?
I know. About 1 spoon.
Okay. That was 1 very large spoon. So let's say that.
So I didn't put it very full, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. It's up to you also how much garlic you want. And
This is
pine
true.
nuts, I will say 1.5 teaspoon.
Great. 1.5 teaspoons pine nuts, probably like 4 cloves of garlic, be'erech, whatever is comfortable for you. And we're going to put that over a fire. How hot are you going to cook that?
I will say medium.
All right, medium heat.
Yes.
And what are we cooking this until?
Until it's cooked enough. You know, it's up to you, but I like it really cooked, you know.
So, Gazala, where did you learn to cook like this?
Where I learned?
Yeah, who taught you how to cook where it's cooked enough and where you know just the right amount of onions to throw in?
You know, this is to try. When it's not cooked enough, first time you cook it, you will say, no, it's something missing. You know, you will try a few times till you will find, you know, the way to cook it the right way. To tell you the truth, like I am the youngest at home, so I wasn't like cooking that much in my family house. But when I came to New York, I had nothing to do, just to cook all day, you know, and I learned a lot by myself. Of course, I used to call also my mom, my grandma, my aunts, and I've been also what it helped me that I watch them, you know, how to cook.
Right. I'm also the youngest, and I like to say that I grew up sort of at my mother's aprons, always at the kitchen. Ooh, that soup is boiling. And a chef trip: if you put a wooden utensil on top of a pot, it will not boil over unless it is boiling very, very vigorously. But
Yes.
that's why that spoon is hanging out on top of the soup pot for anyone who's paying attention. But
Okay.
back to learning from my mother's. I also grew up in my mother's apron and or apron strings, and felt very much that, like, as the youngest child, I was constantly around food, and the language that I know is food. Okay, so now we have cauliflower that are just coming out of that are have come from the deep fryer and are now cooled and drained a little bit, and now we're throwing them in that big pot of tahini sauce.
And it's ready to go. That's it. You cannot cook it too much. So we're gonna move it to the side.
Can you
it's ready.
Get closer so he can see what's happening with that tahini? Okay.
You see, when it's got cold, it's gonna be even the tahini thicker, you know?
All right. So the tahini there thickened up quite a bit, and it will get even thicker as it cools down, thanks to thermodynamics. Wonderful. And everything, that is just a beautiful, beautiful array of pots. Okay.
So I'm gonna move it.
Gazala, earlier you said that this would be served that this would go very well with an Israeli salad. Sometimes I've heard people call that chopped salad or Arab salad. Do you have any thoughts on how to describe that salad?
Yeah, it's tomato, cucumber, parsley, onion, olive oil, and salt. It's very easy to make it. You chop it very small. So,
And
do you want me to give the ingredients?
No, I think we can get the ingredients. I think what I was asking about is, I was asking sort of politically, you called it an Israeli salad, but I've heard elsewhere that it's called an Arab salad, or other places chopped salad. And I was wondering if in your community, oh, we're getting a close look at the meat that's cooking in the pot. Also, that soup is boiling pretty high. Do we want to keep it boiling so high?
The soup?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have time. We need it
All
as
right.
soon as possible, you know.
If we had time, would you be cooking it at such a high heat?
No, but in the beginning, absolutely. In the
All right.
beginning, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So much for the salad commentary. So Gazala, earlier when we were talking, you had mentioned that you first returned to Israel in 2010 with your children, who had grown up here in America while you were cooking, and did not really grow up in a Druze community, didn't grow up in with your family, but that they sort of just jumped right into it. And I was wondering,
Yes.
As an emissary of Druze culture through your kitchen and in your own home with your kids, if you could shed some light on what it means and what are the values that you sort of espouse for your kids and your community to have.
I'm sorry, I didn't get it. Can you repeat it?
Yes, absolutely. So what does it mean to be an emissary of Druze culture? What are the messages that you're trying to share? What is the what are you trying to teach people and engage people with your food?
You know, you know, people don't know what's Druze is really.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my restaurant get the chance, I get the chance through the restaurant to educate people more about Druze, thanks to the media as well, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it's beyond Druze culture. It's about me, like a Druze girl, came from village, has no experience of nothing, you know. If I could do it, everybody could do it. This is what I will say.
Mm-hmm. So I've heard that Druze communities are rather insular, especially the Druze religion. And I'm wondering how you, being a single female restaurateur, was taken by your friends back in your home village, and how your parents understand your work and your life. Have they been receptive, encouraging? Has it been difficult?
It's not easy for my family, I will say. And to tell you the truth, if they insist that I need to be back, I cannot stay. I have to be back and stay with the community. But for some reason, they okay with that. I believe they are so proud for what I did. It's not common for Druze women to be single and living away from the community and from her parents. But they are okay somehow for me to continue doing what I'm doing and being by myself. And I believe thanks to the restaurant, you know, thanks for what I achieved here in United States.
I just want to give you a quick time check. It is now 5:40. So
how long?
We have 20 more minutes.
Okay, so almost 2 dishes ready. We're just waiting for the lentil.
Okay, so is the
And
meat
by the
nearly
way,
done?
Almost done.
Almost done.
Yes.
Okay. And how do we know when it's done? Because you keep moving it around, and I know you like to cook. Can you have Yitz move the camera in? Because he doesn't.
Okay.
He can't hear me.
You can hear me?
No, Yitz, Isaac. Can you have him bring the
Isaac.
camera closer?
Can you bring the camera closer? They asking. Okay, the lamb, it's not ready yet. It's still liquidy, you know.
Okay.
So you need it dry.
So we need to cook off all the liquid that's there.
Yes.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna prepare the hummus. Okay, how many plates we need, Isaac? 2? Okay. Okay, I will wait for the hummus.
All right. When I visited Israel for the first time 20 years ago, I once went to what my tour guide described as Druze hospitality. And I don't remember which village it was in. It was a village in the Galilee near Haifa. I don't think it was Daliat al-Carmel.
It's my village, absolutely. Daliat
Oh, it's
al-Carmel?
yours? Okay. I don't think it was Daliat al-Carmel. I think it was further north. Either way, I was wondering, what is like the experience of Druze hospitality in Israel, and how does that compare to what you think of as a chef, as a mother, as just a human, of what Druze hospitality should be? So I guess, what is the experience I get as a tourist? And if you could share a little on what you think Druze hospitality should be.
Well, how it should be, or how it is?
Both, please. I want your criticisms and your understanding. Okay, so you have prepared hummus there.
Yes.
All right. In the ingredients that we sent to everyone, we spoke about how they could make hummus. Will we talk about that in a minute?
You want me to repeat it?
Just tell people how to make it, because maybe they've never made hummus before.
Okay. You want to make it from scratch, right?
Yes, please.
So you have to keep the chickpeas with the water overnight.
Overnight. So soaking dry chickpeas in water overnight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the next day, you clean it, of course, with cold water.
Drain the chickpeas, rinse the chickpeas.
Yeah. And you add, like, what we talking about, maybe 1 pound?
Sure, let's talk about a pound of chickpeas. That's a great place to start with.
Okay, you will put about 1 teaspoon, either baking soda or baking powder.
Okay.
You keep it for half an hour. You mix it, no water, you don't add the water. You mix it, and then you will add the water, and it has to be like, I believe, like 3 gallon, 4 gallon.
Okay, so we started with a 1 pound of dried chickpeas. We soaked it overnight. We drained it. We rinsed it. We then added a teaspoon or so of baking soda. Baking soda helps to soften the chickpeas when you cook them. And we let that baking soda sit there for about 30 minutes. And then afterwards, we added 3 gallons of water.
Yes. And you let it broil. Then you cover it. And when it starts yellow, to come yellow, you take it out. And you have to feel it in your hand when it's ready.
Okay, so you let the chickpeas boil, you cover it, you lower the heat, and then they're going to continue cooking. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Lamb right there. And you add a little bit of parsley.
Yes, paprika as well.
And paprika on the 4 corners.
Yes.
All right.
Like paprika, you saw how I put. I don't know exactly the measurement. It could be less than a teaspoon. Like, it's up to you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a light dusting of paprika.
Yeah, yeah. And this dish is ready.
And we're ready.
Yes.
Okay. While that's ready, can we finish making hummus? So we have hummus that we had boiled it, and then it had turned yellow, and it was soft, and we knew it was ready because we could squeeze it with our fingers, and the skin was like sliding off. What do we do next?
The Israeli like it hot,
Okay,
but for me it doesn't sound right. When it doesn't even taste well when you ground it hot.
okay.
So what I do, I keep it in the refrigerator, and I will let it cold, and then I ground it. I ground a little bit, like for a second, the chickpeas in the food processor.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will add the tahini, lemon, and the salt. And I ground it till it's mashed, like all got to ground well. And then ready to serve.
Okay, and when you're mixing it with the tahini, do you mix the tahini first before you?
No.
You do it all at once.
Yes.
All at once. Amazing.
Yes.
Okay, and I think something new for a lot of people is that the Israeli tradition of having warm hummus is not something that is as ubiquitous or common in Druze community. And we still missed out on your criticisms of Druze hospitality.
Oh, yes. They overdoing it.
They're
to tell you the truth.
it.
Overdoing it. Like, it's nice, but come on, they give everything for the guest, they probably now it's not like before even it was worse. Like my grandpa used to tell us a story about one guy hide in one of the Druze houses, and there is people run after this guy to take him because he killed, I don't know what he did, and the man of the house refused to give them the guest, and they kidnap his son, and they threaten him, if you don't release the guest, we're gonna kill your son. And he refuses still to give up to give the guest, and they kill his son.
Wow,
So
that got really real.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes. We are ready almost. Yeah, they are really, the guest got to have special treatment. Like right now, if you go and visit a Druze family, they will make food from scratch. You will have like a table in 1 hour. Hospitality is very important. But to tell you the truth, I am very proud to be part of this community. It's a great community. They are very peaceful, very nice. I'm very proud to be part of them, part of this community.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
That story took a turn. I hope that that's just the exception that makes the rule for the kindness and beauty and delicious experiences that everyone has as part of Druze hospitality. And I hope that that will never, ever, ever happen in your kitchen.
Yeah.
So there's been a couple questions here as the soup continues to cook. And I was wondering, are there any Druze communities in New York, or I guess, are there Druze communities outside of Israel, Lebanon, Syria?
There is some Druze, there is immigrant as well like in America, in Europe, there is a few immigrants. And we just found out that there is a Druze in India and China.
Oh.
They don't call Druze, they call something else. I don't know what's the name, but they are Druze. So, but the main Druze, I will say it's Syria, Lebanon, and Jordan. You know, everybody know the Druze that, you know, live in these areas.
All right, a couple more questions, and these are going to be specifics to the food as people are cooking. So how long do you cook the cauliflower in the tahini? And how do you know when it's done? What does it look like? How thick?
Okay, you cook the tahini first, and you let it for about, let's say, half an hour, broil. You have to mix it all the time. And the cauliflower, you just drop the cauliflower in it, let it for a minute, cook with the tahini, and it's ready to serve.
Okay, great. So just so the cauliflower is going to do an initial cute meat with the tahini sauce, or meat cute, and then after that, after it gets all of its crevices filled with the tahini, you take it out. All right, there's been a couple questions about the hummus because we didn't make it. Do you rinse the baking soda after you have the hummus beans soaking with that? Do you rinse off the baking soda?
Okay, you just put the baking soda at the hummus, and you let it. You mix it, of course, with no water at all.
No water.
No water.
And then you add the 3 gallons and cook?
Yes, but
Perfect.
you keep it for half an hour at least.
Great. So
you
we
know,
do not
15,
rinse that off.
15 to half an hour.
All right. And how much lemon, tahini do you add to your hummus once you have cooked it and let it cool?
It shouldn't be more than 10%.
Shouldn't be
tahini.
more than
15.
10% tahini.
Yes, yes.
And lemon, like maybe 2 or 3 lemons for 1 pound?
It depends how big your food processor. It's depend how much you put. And it's about up to you if you like it sour or less sour, you know.
Okay.
It's all up to you.
Great, thank you.
But I will say at least 2 lemon.
All right.
2 large lemon.
So it is now 5 to 6, and we have 3 beautiful dishes right there. 4, because we have 2 plates of the hummus. And if we could have Isaac just zoom in a little closer for us. I don't know if he can't hear me. Can you tell him?
Itzik, they talking to you?
Zoom in. I want to see the food. Everyone wants to see the food. The kitchen's beautiful, but that's not what we're here for, Isaac. There's no Gazala in the background. He can't hear
I need
me.
to give you some pita basket.
Oh,
basket.
right. Okay. So one of the most important pieces of Druze hospitality, and if you're anywhere in Israel, you'll often see a roadside stand of this. It's in all the markets, are women making traditional Druze pita, and they will make it on a sedge, this upside down. It looks like a wok. It's pronounced it's spelled S-A-J or S-E-J, and it's great for making pita, and it's very different from Israeli pita. Israelis use a pocket pita, and the Druze have this very, very thin, very large pita. You can almost read the New York Times through it. It's like lox that you get at Zabar's. It's incredible.
So this is the pita. It's not like big as you see in the village, but it's the same pita.
Great. And in a second, I'm gonna do a motzi, a blessing over the bread, so you can show us what is the proper way to eat the hummus with meat with your pita. So,
yes.
I don't have your amazing pita, but I do have some challahs that I made this week. And so here are my chalot. And so I also have a glass of wine. And while we're rushing this because everyone's sort of zooming in and I can't see what people are doing, because we're going to taste their food, it feels appropriate if I'm going to make a blessing over bread, which I will, and it's Shabbat, that I will also have a blessing over wine. So here I go, just a quick abbreviated, bless are you, creator of the universe, who has given us this wonderful, great beverage. And our blessing on the bread, bless are you, Lord our God, who has given us bread from the earth, and always thinking of our farmers, millers, bakers, and here we are sharing it with Gazala in this incredible evening, and all of you. And I do believe that there may be a follow-up email with some more recipes shown. So Gazala, if you could just show us how to do this, because everyone is wondering how delicious this is and what we're supposed to do.
Okay, so I don't think you have this kind of bread.
I do not, unfortunately.
So you take some meat and some hummus. This is for you. Enjoy it.
All right. Bon appetit. Thank you so much, Gazala.
You're welcome.
There was a question from Jay Ballinson, if there is a Druze blessing that you give before you eat food.
This is the thing, you asked me what I could share, what I cannot share.
Okay.
But everything related to religion, it's very private.
Very private.
So we say the name of God, of course. We started with the name of God, and to be continued.
Okay. Thank you, Gazala. Thank you so, so much. Just
You're
one
welcome.
last thing.
Yeah.
Earlier, I had asked you about Shabbat, and you said this beautiful thing about how growing up, every meal was Shabbat in your family. Can you just tell us, as a closing blessing, what Shabbat means to you and what Shabbat meant to you growing up?
I think it's the best way to get everything together. It's when you eat, and I believe it makes you happy when you eat. And imagine when you eat with the people that you love, you know, that mean also a lot for you. And usually everybody busy working. The only time you will get together, it's when you have Shabbat. So please keep this going. Shabbat, it's a blessing that you have in your religion and culture. Keep it going.
Thank you so much, Toda Rabba, Shukran. This is an absolutely wonderful evening. I'm going to pass this back to Isaac, who's going to remind everyone of the programs that are coming up next.
Thank you, Avery. Thank you so much, Gazala. Thank you again to Sarah Kay.
You're welcome.
And thank you to One Table for nourishing this. And we had a fabulous Druze movie in the festival. That was our opening night festival called 100%. Be sure to check that out. And as you make the foods, watch that film. Coming up right now, there is the conversation for My Dearest Enemy. So check into that Zoom too and check that film out. And many more films tomorrow. Don't miss the short films. And tomorrow night, Till Kingdom Come. Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for being a part of this. And be sure to order from Gazala as much as possible and to tell all your friends to order there too. These are tough times and we really need to support these businesses. As you can see, it's a one-woman show. Thank you all, and we'll see you soon. Join us at the movies. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.